it. Okay, make it public.
I guess I hit got it, right?
Yeah. And
What did I get?
uh, got.
I got get. I get.
Okay,
Yes, so.
it is now on your profile, Bill, and in a second it'll be on yours, Jan.
Wow. Amazing, Jan. And Jan. All your Jans.
Isn't that cool?
Man.
Okay. And say hello. Oops. And let us know you're here.
Strawberry Jan. Blueberry Jan.
Stop that immediately.
I thought that's what you hired me for.
Next time. My channel. And we are now on YouTube as well. I don't know how to share that, so if you want to go get the link and put it on your YouTube channel, please feel free.
No, that's okay. I put out your YouTube channel. Recording?
Yes, in just an instant. Huh. Well, Patrick just sent me a message that Jan is out of focus, but he didn't say which one.
It's probably me because I'm fuzzy.
Oh, well, that's probably what he had in mind when he said it. So, is there anything you can do about your fuzziness?
No, I need a better camera. The camera
Oh.
it comes with the computer. I stuck an address label on when I first got the computer because I was paranoid. And then I started using all this. So I've washed it with everything. It's just still fuzzy. I think I'm better fuzzy anyway.
I'll leave that up to you. Yes. How many times do we go around? We have an hour. The basic rule of thumb is 3 songs in 15 minutes, so we'll probably do 4 songs each, one at a time. Welcome to our celebration of Earth Day concert being presented by, oh, hi, being presented by Clim8 Savers. That's Clim8 Savers. I've been looking forward to this show for a really long time, and I've got some very special treats for you. But I'm not the one who's going to start. My guests are Jan Luby, who is in Rhode Island and has been a mover and shaker there for a really long time, and Bill Oliver, who has been Mr. Habitat in Austin, Texas for as far back as I can remember, and probably a good deal further than that. So without further ado, Jan, would you like to kick us off?
You bet. So this is not really an environmental song, but it's about people getting together and trying to change things. So. When I was a child, I colored grass orange, the princess's hair light green. I was told the sky isn't red, but I knew what I'd seen. They said clouds are white, the sky is blue, the sun is yellow when it shines. And You should always be more careful to color inside the lines, coloring outside the lines, outside the lines, with my heart wide open to all I might find, coloring outside the lines. And I made friends of different colors. Some thought I'd crossed a line, still so dear, 50 years and counting, these forever friends of mine. And I joined people out taking chances, making the world of their design. Seems there are more and more people outside the lines, and we really need it. Coloring outside the lines, outside the lines, with our hearts wide open to all we might find, coloring outside the lines. Here's a song to the ones who don't follow, who listen to a voice their own. While you tell them that they can't make a difference, they're busy growing the seeds they've sown, coloring outside the lines, outside the lines, with our hearts wide open to all we might find, coloring outside the lines, with our hearts wide open to all we might find, coloring outside the lines.
Wow.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Very nice.
That was lovely, Jan. And I really appreciate the sentiment too. So, Bill, I'm looking forward to this. What have you got
Oh,
for us?
wow, Jan, that's Luby, that was really pretty. Um, I bet there's a video of that. Is there? That would
Uh,
really lend some beautiful animation or something.
You know anybody? I'd love one.
God. We probably do. We know people who do, I'm sure. Somebody knows somebody.
Oh, have your people call my people.
No.
I have a confession to make.
Oh, right.
I
This
didn't
is great.
catch that on this video. However, it will be on the YouTube video. So I'm going to, I'm sort of at a
And that was
loss
the
to know
best
what to
ever.
do.
Oh,
I know.
yeah.
How would you feel about singing it again, Jan?
That's that kind of campfire.
Yeah,
Oh,
no?
at the end when we're done or something.
Okay.
Do
All right,
that?
then.
I'll
Yeah.
do it. I'll sing it again.
All right, the recording should start now. Great.
Oh, we got to get it again? All right. Another chance to click got it, I guess.
Oh, no. Did it make you click something?
It asked, threw it up there, and I went for it. Am I still here? Hi, Virginia. Am I been muted? Where am I? Hola?
You're getting ready to sing a song, I believe.
Yeah, okay, but you can hear me?
Yes.
Oh, good. All right. So, Earth Day 2022. Yeah. This song was requested by some teachers a group of teachers in Pennsylvania that were putting together a video about how wonderful space was, but especially if we could get back. I mean, it was like, as long as we could get back, because actually this is the planet of our choice, you know. So they wanted a little theme song for that idea, and I knew some kids in astronaut schools over in Seabrook, Texas, and so I thought of this song. Coming in view, this island of blue, floating through space and through time, beckoning you to enter into the world with the perfect design. It's really quite great, our place in space. We're in the right space at the right time. Comparing it to the planets and moons, the climate is rather divine. We've got oceans of water and rivers of rain, mountains of forest, plateaus and plains. The weather is great, somewhere, someplace. It's the place that embraces the whole human race. And it's a fabulous scene where the blue turns to green, the fields and the forest at birth. The world tilts around, the leaves turn to brown, the snowflakes fall back to earth. The closer you get, the harder you look, the harder it is not to see what too many humans can do when we're moving around in our giant machines. A handful of hand tools for thousands of years can't match a machine with motors and gears. The forests are falling, the landfills are filling, the humans are multiplying and killing. But it's a wonderful time to be alive. It's a good time to put the earth first. There's no time like the present to save what we're blessed with every time we come back to the earth. There's no time like the present to save what we're blessed with every time we come back to the earth.
Bravo.
I love that. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Reggae. Needs more reggae.
Yeah. A little Jamaica never hurt anyone. So this was one of my first environmental songs, and it was there's a guy in California who runs this thing called Now See Here, and he gives you a painting or some piece of visual artwork and says, write me a song for that. And then he takes your song and he takes it back to yet another visual artist and says, make me something that this inspires. And he's got, yeah, it's really neat. And it's been going around and around for, I think, maybe 7 or 8 times now. I've done like 4 of them, and I actually got into the visual side of it one time and made him a doll to go with a song that had a lot of fun, gave it to a granddaughter. So this was a series of slides, and it was, I can actually show you one of the pictures. Hold on. Backgrounds. Here we go. Can you see that? That was one of the slides. And the face is the sun, and my hair just got brushed. I think I'll leave this like this. So, this is the song. Saw it on TV today. They found a new planet not far away. Maybe a place to erase our past mistakes. But me and the wife, this here's our home. We'll stay even if it's all alone. With the floods and the fires and the hurricanes and the quakes. Most of my neighbors admit they feel the changes, but most of them don't think that we're the ones to blame. That's the same old sun in the same old sky, and that's the same old moon rising every night, and the world keeps turning, same as it's always done. Those are the same old stars, and that's the same old sun. Well, under that sun we've made a mess. Thought it didn't matter, I guess. Now we're drowning in the poisons we have made. I hear the polar caps are losing ice. Can't see the stars for all of the lights, and even the oceans are filled with plastic waste. Well, any fool can feel the changes, with every one of us probably to blame, 'cause that's the same old sun in the same old sky, and that's the same old moon rising every night, and the world keeps turning just like it's always done. Those are the same old stars, and that's the same old sun. We're gonna keep on getting what we keep on getting if we keep on doing what we've always done, 'cause it's the same old sun in the same old sky. Look, it's the same old moon, and it's rising every night, and the world keeps turning just like it's always done. Those are the same old stars, and that's the same old sun. Those are the same old stars, and that's the same old good old sun.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think I'm going to go back to normal background. I don't like disappearing every few minutes.
Your arm kept disappearing. It was psychedelic.
But it was
Yes.
great. No, it's excellent. And that graphic is beautiful. I see where it
Thank you.
goes nice with the song so well.
If I could, I'd tell you whose graphic it is, but I've forgotten.
Oh, you'll find
Yeah, I'll go look it up while.
you'd find it.
So, around to me.
Around to you.
So, I do some environmental songs, but most of them aren't mine. So, this is more about a song of figuring out how to be where you are in the moment, and appreciate it. But I walk in the woods a lot. My daughter and I used to always have trash bags with us and pick up trash. It's like, oh, it's a beautiful place. Let's throw our garbage here. I don't understand that, but anyway. So, well, I'll just play it. About some of my happy places. The light seeping through yellow and red leaves, my hope spreading its wings and ease. This little moment now, warm fire crackling in an old wood stove, my eyes looking to the sky above. This cliff where the eucalyptus grow so high that the seagulls fly below. This little moment now, horizon, a graceful arc of bay. From here, I can hardly hear the waves. I need to be here all the time, or it will be too late. And I will find I've missed my life. It's all just passed me by. This little moment now, this path winding around the pond, whose shade covers the footbridge we're on. This little moment now, we rest barefoot in the breeze, eating chocolate and strawberries. Embrace, saying our morning goodbye. We stand in a little spot of sunshine.
Very nice.
That was so pretty.
Thank you.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I see you on one of my favorite otter joining us, Virginia Palmer. She's in the Otter Space Band. How are you doing? Jump right in, we got parts, arrangements. Great. We are going to Dallas tomorrow to the Ned and Jeannie Fritz Buckeye Trailhead dedication for a guy named Ned Fritz, a red-headed woodpecker from Dallas who was sort of Texas's John Muir in East Texas forests. And it's he's several years deceased, but Jeannie, his gal, his partner, will be there in her 90s, and a whole bunch of folks from Dallas are going to be turning out to start a on live archive of the guy. When we went to, he had 20 or so wilderness powwows in East Texas is where I met up with him. And John Henry Falk was one of our speakers. In fact, he blew out my speakers the first time I met him. I had the little PA, and he, "Hello there, kid!" And he just blew out my speakers with the first words he said, because he was a pro. He was great. But we were there for the wilderness powwows, and this song came out of that. This was the forestry battles in the late 80s and into the 90s. And so Ned was so big in East Texas wilderness preservation that he became a model and a national leader on that. Hence, it became the Woodpecker Rebellion. Grab your radios. They clear cut out west, they leave mountains with patches, wounds in the forest that bleed in the streams, forcing the salmon to change their direction. The streams like the loggers, too silty to see. When they clear cut out west, it's a corporate attraction, a subsidized ambush clear up to Alaska. In Oregon, it's Medco, California, it's Maxim. It's a war on the wilderness, paid for with taxes. So climb up, you ladderback, see red cockaded. Get furious, you flickers, peyote pileated. We'll curse the clear cutters, raise hell like a hellion. We're joining tonight the Woodpecker Rebellion. That's your part. Well, they clear cut in Maine, it's a major disaster. Diesel Paul Bunions, they blast through the trees. Strips by the road may disguise what they're after, but up in the air you can see what they leave. When they clear cut down south, they leave giant plantations, Georgia Pacific, all through Tennessee. It seems like the goal is to change Carolina from one flowing forest to one pining tree. So climb up, you ladderback, see red cockaded, get furious, you flickers, P.O.-affiliated. We'll curse the clear cutters, raise hell like a hellion. We're joining tonight the Woodpecker Rebellion. Okay, ready? Everybody, so climb up, you ladderback, see who said redneck Caucasians? Wait a minute. That's not it. It's redneck Caucasian. Yet furious, you flickers, P.O.-affiliated. We'll curse the clear cutters, raise hell like a hellion. We're joining tonight the Woodpecker Rebellion. They clear cut in Texas with Vietnam tactics, napalming forests with chopper attacks, forcing the wildness to meet monocultures, and then wonder why the pine beetle comes back. Here we go, last time. So climb up, you ladderback, see red cockaded, get furious, you flickers, P.O.-affiliated. We'll curse the clear cutters, raise hell like a hellion. We're joining tonight the Woodpecker Rebellion. We're joining tonight the Woodpecker Rebellion.
I'm in love.
I love that.
Yeah.
I might have to learn some of your songs, Bill.
Oh,
Yeah, really.
Oh, I know. One of the reasons I picked that was because Biden today is putting an emphasis on old growth and wilderness, old growth trees, mature forests, making a big deal out of that in Washington. So that's different.
Not a moment too soon.
Yeah.
Which, actually, that's the subject of this song, because they do say the time to plant a tree is 20 years ago, and failing that, right now will do.
Right.
So this is encouragement. In the name of my mother, I will plant a tree. In the name of my father, I will plant another. In the name of my sister, and also of my brother, I will plant a tree. I will plant a tree. For the good of my children, I will plant a tree. For the good of their children, I will plant another. For the good of my friends, and also of my lover, I will plant a tree. I will plant a tree. I will plant birds. I will plant bees. I will plant hope, and I will plant dreams. I will plant for the children yet to be. I will plant a tree. I will plant a tree. In the month of April, I will plant a tree. In the month of May, I will plant another as all the months go by. We can plant together, we will plant a tree. We will plant a tree. I will plant birds, I will plant bees, I will plant hope, and I will plant dreams. I will plant for the children yet to be. I will plant a tree, I will plant a tree, though I will never sit in the shade of it, or any tree I plant today. Still, I will take delight in these trees anyway, anyway. And I will plant birds, I will plant bees, I will plant hope, and I will plant dreams. I will plant for all those children yet to be. I will plant a tree, I will plant a tree, I will plant trees.
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Gorgeous song.
That'll inspire some tree planting.
I hope so. We can certainly use it. There are apparently wildfires going on north of Albuquerque today, so all hands on deck.
Yeah. So, I was asked to write a song to go with a video that the locals here made in Northwest Rhode Island when we were fighting and building a power plant right in a choke point for wildlife to go through. It's pretty rural here. It's all farms and forests, and this area is known as the Quiet Corner, and also it's part of the Last Green Valley. So we fought 4 years and won, so this was for the video that they made, and I'll play it. Yes, we won. So that you can make a difference. So you really can't look away for a minute though, because they were trying to get around decisions that were made, and just as they always do, because they're thinking of the moment and how much money it's going to put in their pockets, and not anything to do with the future. So I love that song, Dan. That's so gorgeous. Invenergy was a company, and they had this attitude like they just couldn't understand why we were so upset about this, because it was going to be so good for the, they were going to rebuild, they were going to repave roads, and they were going to, it was going to be so good for our community. There were going to be jobs, and I just couldn't understand why we were so upset. So that's why there's like, why should we even care was the original name of the song. But here we go. It's just a patch of woods, just a little town. Why should we even care if all the trees come down? It's just freshwater springs, only sweet clean air, just the song of birds. Why should we even care? There's just a lot of streams, rivers and lakes around. Who cares if they're still clean? 20 years from now, if you look from a distance and you see dollar signs, 200-foot stacks, bright lights all night, expanded power lines. It's just wood turtles' home, and dewdrops growing there, where blue heron nest. Why should we even care? Oh, it's a quiet night, a white owl on the wing, the many stars so bright, and all the crickets sing. You look from a distance, you just see dollar signs, 200-foot stacks, bright lights all night, expanded power lines. It's just a patch of woods, just a little town. Why should we even care if all the trees come down? Oh, it's a peaceful dream, our children all asleep, and they've all said their prayers down on their knees.
I'm so glad you won. And that's such a beautiful song.
Yeah. Wow. 200-foot stacks. Well, let's see. Knock, knock. So we're on the 30th anniversary here in Austin of the Save Our Springs Alliance. One of their thresholds, and it's exciting to have been a part of that. Virginia Palmer was on their board for quite a while, and we have a raft load of songs about that, and about 50 versions of this song, so I'll keep it reasonable here. Hey, it's don't look for the melody. It's kind of a talking blues, but it does have a little repeating part in there. Jump right in there. Grab your radios. Austin is a summer city and Barton Springs eternal. Winter's short and the spring's pretty in Barton Springs eternal. And when it's warm, where do we go? To remove most all our clothes, the cleanest, clearest swimming hole is Barton Springs eternal. It may be dry on Barton Creek, but Barton Springs eternal. May not have rained in many weeks, but Barton Springs eternal. If it's warm or if it's freeze, it's always 68 degrees in a world of uncertainties. Barton Springs eternal. Indians, they used to come to Barton Springs eternal. Feel the chill, feel the sun, Barton Springs eternal. And as they filled their water sacks, to them it was a sacred act. What would they say, thinking back to Barton Springs eternal? Salamanders living there since Barton sprang eternal. They're not too big, there's room to share in Barton Springs eternal. The sign of the times, things are fine. The canary in our gold mine will rue the day if we don't find them in Barton Springs eternal. And let's go paddling up the creek to Barton Springs eternal, to the splash exhibit and take a peek in Barton Springs eternal. Take a swim, take a walk, listen to the water talk. It's story time at Philosopher's Rock in Barton Springs eternal. Take it, Beth. Oh. Thank you, Doug. Where are y'all? How many times we read and weep Barton Springs Eternal. Watch development as it creeps up Barton Springs Eternal. This piecemeal progress and grand demise, mauled and golfed and condoized. We don't want no consolation prize. We want Barton Springs Eternal. Barton Springs Eternal. Barton Springs Eternal. But instead, we're also getting condominiums. Everybody, condominiums. There's so many of them. Big finish. Condominium. Thank you. That was a medley.
I think that's my favorite one of yours, Bill. Here's something that at the time that all of this was, that the fight started, and Austin won, actually. They put it in a referendum, and Austin won by 65%. Well, one of my students' moms was a lawyer, and she was one of the lawyers defending the Save Our Springs, whatever it was called. And she said that the lawsuits were coming like 25 a week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I'm so glad we won, and I hope we keep on doing it, because Barton Springs is just such an integral part of Austin that it's impossible to imagine Austin without it. I remember the first time I went there, somebody said, "You should just jump in. It'll be better. You should just jump in." And I, here I am from New York City. I don't know about natural springs at all. And 68 degrees year round, right? That doesn't sound like it's that cold, but when it's 112 outside, it just about stopped my heart. And it's a wonderful place. And Philosopher's Rock is right there at Barton Springs, and well, it should be. And that's where J. Frank Dobie and
Pettichek, Webb.
Yeah. All of our famous storytellers. That's where they gathered. I need to ask this. Jan, where can people find you online?
danluby.com.
There you have it. And there's the spelling right there. How convenient. And Bill, how about you?
mrhabitat.net.
Wonderful. And
That's Mr. Habitat, like Dr. Pepper, no punctuation. Thank you.
Oh, good. Okay. So just all run together, Mr. Habitat. That's your name, and you're sticking to it. And mine is at janseides.com. So if you like what you hear, and I know you do, then that's where to find more of the same, or slightly different. This is more about trees. This is about old trees. My grandmother's tree stands in the front yard where it was planted when she was born. From blizzard to blazing sun, it has weathered every storm. 100-foot tall ponderosa, part of 3 generations' lives. And our house will be dust before that big tree dies. It was my haven, my sanctuary when I was a child. Creeping beneath its branches, the rest of the world I exiled. I'd play with my dolls and the pine cones there in my cozy little home. Like my mother before me, and like generations unborn, grandmother's tree protects us. Grandmother's tree hides our tears. Grandmother's tree gives us shelter when we bring our troubles and cares, and when we tell of our triumphs and joys. Grandmother hears. I remember she'd sit in its shade and smile as she sipped her tea. Or sometimes she'd bring a book and I'd read to her, or she'd read to me. One day I climbed up in its branches, broke my arm when I fell to the ground, and she crawled in beside me to wait till the doctor came round. Grandmother's tree protects us. Grandmother's tree hides our tears. Grandmother's tree gives us shelter when we bring our troubles and cares, and when we tell of our triumphs and joys. Grandmother hears. So what if nobody'd planted that tree? Or what if she'd moved away? I guess I'd be in the city right now, dreaming of having a house with a big tree one day. For though she's gone, her memory lives on, because grandmother's tree protects us. Grandmother's tree hides our tears. Grandmother's tree gives us shelter when we bring our troubles and cares, and when we tell of our triumphs and joys. I believe grandmother hears.
Oh, nice.
Thank you. So there's one more thing I have to add here. At the end of this week, the other end of this week, if you call this the beginning, next Friday, in other words, April 29th, it's Arbor Day. And I'll be doing a little show this kind of similar to this, except for the fact that I'm going to teach the last two songs I did. Well, I'm not. Miss Pimby, who roughly equates to Miss Frizzle from the Magic School Bus, she'll be here, and she'll be teaching these songs. And I don't know a whole lot about her other than she's a very wonderful person, but she'll be wearing these shoes. That's what I know. So I'm going to put the Zoom link for that show in the chat. Please join us. It'll be fun. There it is.
What time is that show?
It will be at 6 o'clock next Friday on Arbor Day. And Miss Pimby, by the way, is Pimby, plant in my backyard.
Wow.
All right.
So we are on our last round. So Jan, what have you got for us?
All right. So I've got I've got to make a decision. Ah, um, I think I'll do this one. So there was one night a few years ago. It was I don't get my husband out to walk with me very often, and it was this really warm August night, and it wasn't humid. It was just this warm wind blowing, and I said, "Come on, let's go." And not even 5 minutes from here, along the river, there's some woods, and we were walking, and there were more fireflies than I have ever seen in my life. I felt like I couldn't get my eyes wide enough to take it all in. I've never seen them like that. And the very same week, there was a PBS special about these people that drive their RVs up into the mountains in North Carolina and sit there in their lawn chairs waiting for the fireflies. So, but the show also talked about the light being how they attract mates. And so, so this happened. Also, it was written on a prompt, and the prompt was voyeur, voyeur. And I was really coming up with absolutely nothing. I had a month to write the song, and it just didn't, the topic didn't do anything for me. And then I went, oh, okay, fireflies. So. I love your essence, your luminescence, so beautiful and bright. Oh, I want to watch you, know what you're up to, looking for love tonight. Like fairies in the forest, fireflies, feeling I've been blessed just to have these eyes. Fireflies, fireflies. I've waited all day just to see you play. Shine your hopeful light, 1,000 tinker bells. You cast your spells, little nymphs taking flight. Like fairies in the forest, fireflies, feeling I've been blessed just to have these eyes. Fireflies, fireflies. I guess that I'm drawn in summertime to evening wind so warm, and walking up here the river near just to see you perform. Like fairies in the forest, fireflies, feeling I've been blessed just to have these eyes. Fireflies, fireflies.
Nice.
That's lovely. I could just picture that scene. So cool. And Bill?
Very beautiful. Yes. Hey, so it's been lovely being in this Jan session. Jan sandwich.
Funny, I thought it was a Bill sandwich.
That's, oh, yeah. Okay, there you are. Right. But thank you again, Jan, for Jan Seides for inviting me to be part of this. And like
Yes.
we were saying
Yes,
earlier, we
thank
go
you. I
back
meant
to
to
the
thank you.
My pleasure.
Sorry.
We go back to the 70s when you did lead sheets for a dozen songs of mine or something back
Yep.
before you could, do it otherwise. Copywriting back when I cared. But you were there. Calligraphy, so nice. Been here all night.
Fun too. I got to hear everybody's songs before anyone else.
That's, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so here we are, folks. It's Earth Day everywhere, somewhere. So, thanks so much for hosting us in your cyber world and on your computer screen, in your home, in your habitat. It's a one-word sing-along, everybody. Habitat. Have to have a habitat. You have to have a habitat to carry on. The ocean is a habitat, very special habitat, where the deepest water's at, where the biggest mammals at, where our future food is at, keeps the atmosphere intact. The ocean is habitat we depend on. Habitat, have to have habitat, 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 to have habitat, habitat. Have to have habitat, you have to have habitat to carry on. The forest is a habitat, very special habitat, where the tallest trees are at, where a bear could scratch her back. Trees do so much for us as forests. They keep the ground from rolling back, renews the oxygen. In fact, the forest is habitat we depend on. Habitat, have to have a habitat, habitat, have to have a habitat, habitat, have to have habitat, you have to have habitat to carry on. The desert is a habitat, very arid habitat, where plants and animals adapt. The cactus and the desert rat, and if you ask a desert rat, they'll say that's where their spirit's at. The desert is habitat we depend on. The river is habitat, very special habitat, where the freshest water's at, for people fishing kayaks, and when people dump their trash, rivers take the biggest rap. The river is habitat we depend on. People are different, the foxes and rabbits affect the whole world with our bad habits. Better to love it while we still have it. A rat-a-tat-tat, our habitat's gone. Habitat, have to have a habitat, habitat, have to have a habitat, habitat, have to have habitat, you have to have habitat to carry on. You have to have a habitat to carry on. Really softly, you have to have a habitat to... Don't scare the wildlife. Habitat.
Wonderful.
So before we round this up, I'd like to say thank you for coming to Trisha and Mike and to Sybil and Rick, who are joining us on YouTube and on Facebook. Thank you so much. Oh, and my cousin Gail is there too. So, hi Gail. I know you can't see it, but I go and check every once in a while. This song was written because I was doing a bunch of songs for Patrick that had to do with the environment, and also because 3 times in the space of 2 days, somebody had brought up the Northern Lights to me. And the 3rd time, I kind of ignored it the first time. Yeah, that's a good idea. I should do something about that. And, we'll put that on the top of the pile. And then somebody else, and I went, oh, that's odd. And the 3rd time I went, well, all right. And this was the result. Magnetic fields fight their way across the skies and show us brilliant colors, the northern lights, and we are all reminded the beauty we have here and how fortunate we are to have protective atmosphere. In the home we share, the northern lights remind us, as water and air, the northern lights remind us that there's no guarantee, there's no guarantee. The northern lights remind us, the northern lights remind us. Celestial looms weave the darkness into light that dance above the planets to dazzle human eyes, and we are all reminded of vast eternity, how fortunate we are, however briefly, just to be on the home we share. The northern lights remind us, water and air. The northern lights remind us that there's no guarantee, there's no guarantee. The northern lights remind us, the northern lights remind us. It's a beautiful and deadly universe, and everything that we hold dear depends on our next choice. For though we send our rockets up to land on planet Mars, or lie back on a hillside to admire the stars, the northern lights remind us, with their shimmering towers, how fortunate we are to have this earth of ours. And the home we share, the northern lights remind us, as water and air. The northern lights remind us that there's no guarantee, there's no guarantee. The northern lights remind us, the northern lights remind us, the northern lights remind us.
Beautiful. It's gorgeous.
Thank you. Well, I'm in love with all your songs.
Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, my pleasure.
This is wonderful.
My pleasure.
Love
And
to hear
thank
you,
you,
Bill.
Hope to see you in New England somewhere down the line.
and thanks
Yeah, well,
to both of you
get
for
in touch
saying
if you're
yes
coming
to
out
this.
way. Either one of you, if you're coming out this way, get in touch.
Thanks.
All right.
So that rounds out our show. I'm going to real quick stop the recording and
Virginia.
the stream.